For those of you who don't know, my name is Michael Forrest, and welcome to It's Quest Time. Now, before we get going, if I can ask you guys not to send me any text messages while I'm up here, because listen, when you're up here and you get a text message, it's like hitting the wall, except it's a wall of text, and that can really throw you off a lot. So please don't send me any text messages until the end of the event. And actually, if you need to get a hold of us, really the best way to do that is to join our Discord. Also, if I can ask you to stay off of the stage area here, that would help an awful lot, because listen, when you're up here, it would just help if you don't block the stage, really. And this way it gives me a little bit of room to move around, do that whole hosting thing, right? Also, if you may notice in your lower left there, at the very top of the, what's that? Delphine? Somebody said something. What is that? No? Okay.
You're very glitchy.
Oh, I'm choppy again. Oh, well, I don't know what's going on with the voice, people. This is like the third time already. I'm going to give it one more try, see if that helps. All right, I'll read the address here. 1 second here. Sorry for the interruptions. That's the thing about a live performance, though. Anything can go wrong, and it usually does. I'll be right.
Yes, as a DJ, I know that.
Oh, Mama, really? Now? Oh, man. You could use that already. Come here, boo.
Gotta think after what's my third reset. I'm thinking it's not me. I'm thinking it just might be Altspace. All right, let's see here. Let me get my slides back out. Of course, I lost my buttons. We're off to a beautiful start, everybody. All right, let's see here. So I've lost my slides here. So if everybody would be patient for just a moment, I'll try and re-enter again, see if that helps. All right, I'll be right back, everybody. Appreciate your patience here. A little bit of a late start, but we'll get it going.
No problem.
You sound great.
Thank you for your patience. We're just experiencing a small technical difficulty with the audio. Our host will return momentarily. Thank you.
Here he is.
All right, everybody has the voice now. We still choppy?
Fourth time's the charm. Fourth time is the charm.
Apparently, yeah. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If this keeps up, that load screen top of the hill there, they're gonna have to put a chair in there for me at the rate we're going. Because it's a lot of re-entries there. All right. Who is that just laughed now? I want to give you a little just now. Who was that?
I'm Q for Q. Hey,
Q. What's going on? I was gonna say your microphone is really loud, but you're an admin, so it's probably
bad.
supposed to be loud. No, it's cool. You're an admin. You gotta have that. You gotta have that loud booming voice. Be like, attention users. That really works for that. All right, now listen, everybody. Before we get going, you're gonna notice that you have in your menu wheel a microphone icon. Right now, at the very top of that menu wheel is a microphone icon. And when that is clear, we can hear everything that's happening in your environment. And I do mean everything, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn that to red. And what that means is that you're muted. So if in the event that somebody comes into your space and says, hey, are you still on that thing? Right, you go ahead and answer them because we're not going to hear any of that. Likewise, if you got maybe a barking dog in the environment, right, you're not going to face social ruin back at the campfire by becoming known as the avatar that suddenly started barking during its quest time, right? All right, and listen, just because you're muted doesn't mean you can't express yourself. You're going to notice that there's a pink cheek smiley face in your menu wheel there, and when you click on that, you're going to see a wide variety of options with which to express yourself. So if I share something really deep, something really powerful, meaningful up here, you're going to just have a chance to just let it out and let it flow just like that. Maybe I got some backup dancers backstage and they come out and we break into It's Quest Time the musical and you're very impressed with the production value. You can throw up the applause I live for, and I can take a moment to drink it all in because it feels good. If I ask you guys a yes or no question. You can say yes by smiling like this. You can say no by frowning like that. And if I say or do something funny, you can do this whole silly face emoji to show me that you're laughing. And then there's this thing. This is by far the most distracting of all the emojis. I think we can agree on that. You got a big hand coming out of your head, right? So we're going to use this as kind of a signal. We will be taking questions and comments at the end, but you use this to let me know that my voice has gone choppy, which is apparently happening a lot today. But, this is a way to let me know that. Or maybe, my moderators set the stage on fire. They've done that before. They'll probably do it again. You let me know that. That's going to be our bond. It's going to be our pact. Now, you can press the X in the middle of the emoji panel to get rid of it, but it's a good idea to leave it open during events like this because, it's a good way to give me feedback. But more importantly, it lets the people around you know what you're experiencing, right? So if the person next to you goes like this, that means they found something funny. You may not agree. You might be like, that's not funny at all. I'm going to go stand over here. And you can totally do that. This is a VR. You won't do it over here because as we agreed, you wouldn't be coming up on the stage. All right, that's our bond, people. That's our pact. All right, let me get an idea of, what kind of audience we're dealing with today. Who here is on the Quest 2? Let me see some emojis. Throw your hands up because you can. Let me see how many Quest 2 users we got in here. Oh, wow. Okay, that's good. All right, so the majority of you. All right, how many of you are on the original Quest? Any original Quest users here? All right, well, I got a couple. All right. Let's see. How many of you are new to Altspace? Any new Altspace users? Wow. Okay. Well, welcome to Altspace. I think you're going to enjoy it. Got a lot of cool stuff in here. How many of you are new to VR? Any people who are brand new to VR? All right. Or you're just starting out. It's probably pretty strange, right? Well, we're going to get you skilled up real quick. All right. Because listen, when I was waiting for my Quest to arrive, I was on a Go at the time. Now, the Oculus Go only had one controller. Right. So, and I grew up in Brooklyn, so I'm used to expressing myself with my hands. I talk with my hands a lot. Right. And, but in Altspace, all anybody saw was my hand going like this. Right. And I couldn't wait to get that second hand, so I could start moving my hands around like that. And, what happened was when I first got my original Quest, I took one look at the controls and I was like, that's a lot of buttons. And it is. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to get used to. But then when my Quest 2 arrived, I took a look at the buttons and you know what? They're the same buttons. There's not a lot of difference between the two controllers. And I like to go over the controls just to make sure everybody is skilled up so you can really get the most out of Altspace and really just, be comfortable with the controls and all that. And we're going to that's what we're mainly going to be talking about today is how to get the most out of Altspace on your Oculus Quest or your Oculus Quest 2. All right. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to talk about some of these buttons that we have up here. But the main difference between the Quest 2 and the original Quest controllers are you have a thumb rest on the Quest 2, which is right here on the side. And when you touch your thumb there, you're going to find your thumb goes down. Visually, you'll see it go down like that. All right. And also on the original Quest, you have this what is a flat button right here. But on the Quest 2, it's kind of a concave shape. And that's really the only difference between the controllers. So what I say to to do here, one group for the Quest or the Quest 2, it'll be the same information as far as the controls go, okay? And the first thing we're going to talk about is the grip button here. And the grip button is on the side of the control here and here. And you can use this to interact with your environment. That's how I'm holding on this laser pointer here. You can use that to grab onto fireworks and stuff like that. You can also use it to interact with your world editor if you're a world builder and you want to build worlds with your own two hands, right? You can also use it to grab those bean bags they have in the campfire, those paper planes they got. Also, if you've never tried it before, maybe my backup dancers can toss me out some of these basketballs here. And if you go ahead and grab onto these, it'll give you a chance to really use the grip button. If you've never used it before, just aim at one of these balls and kind of toss them around and kind of get a feel for it. All right, now, if you're having a room scale experience, what you're going to notice is occasionally you're going to walk out past your main menu. And when you do that, somebody's going to, that's always a time when somebody's going to say, hey, open your main menu, right? And you're going to look around, you're going to go, oh, where is this thing? Where did it go? It was just here. And then, it's always usually right behind you, right? Now, it's important to remember that when you're having a room scale experience like this, your main menu is in your hands at all times. What I mean by this is on your left controller down toward the bottom, if you're on an original Quest, you're going to have a flat button right here. And on the Quest 2, it's a concave button, but it does the same thing. It is your main menu button. And when you press it, your main menu is going to open up in front of you. I like to combine it with a hand flick. I go like this, boom, my menu just opened. And I do it again, boom, my menu's closed, just like that, right? So you can combine that action. You don't have to do the hand flick. It doesn't make it work any differently. It's just something I like to do. You feel free to do that too. All right, now, when you do that, you're also going to notice when I first came into Altspace on my Quest and on my Quest 2, I went to the campfire to try it out. Now, on the Quest, you're going to have to worry about your vertical height. There are going to be times when you feel taller or shorter than everybody else. And the pace know how to adjust your height. If there's somebody willing to change their height for me, either scooch down in your chair or kind of stand up a little bit. Anybody? Oh, there we go. Oh, thanks, Bravo Avocado. Now, Bravo Avocado, show everybody what happens when you press down on your left thumbstick, because it's like it's a button, because it is. Just push down that left thumbstick and watch what happens. You just push down on it like it's a button. And look straight ahead when you do it too. That can help. There we go. Boom. All right, Bradley, you want to do it too? Press down your left thumbstick. Show everybody. You see how it just snapped into place? All right, we call that recentering. So if you feel too tall or too short, just press down on your left thumbstick, like as though it were a button, because that's what it is. All right, and that'll recenter your height. The thing to remember is this movement is attached to your head, right? So if you look down and you press down on it, it's going to lift your avatar up slightly, right? And if you look up into it, it's going to move your avatar a little bit shorter than everybody else. And this way you can make little adjustments to it. The ideal way, if you want to be just as tall as everybody else, is just look straight ahead and then press that left thumbstick and you're good to go. All right, now also you're going to find on your right controller next to your thumbstick at the very top is your teleport button right here. So if everybody lines up against this wall with me here, right? And we just like line up here, form a line. And what we can do is we can hold down that button and aim it at the floor. And you're going to see a blue teleport circle appear on the floor next to you. Right, and what you do is you aim across the room by that brick wall, and as soon as you let go, boom, you get thrown right across the room. Try to give that a try. Teleport to me while there's still time. All right, now on your left controller, you have that trigger button there. When you squeeze down that trigger button, this is going to cause you to accelerate, whether you're walking or you're flying. All right, so let's give that a try. Hold down that left trigger button. I see you waving there. Peter Parker, how's it going? What's going on? I see you. You pointing over there? We'll get to that. Don't worry about it. All right, let's see, everybody. So now we're going to go into a circle here. Hold down that left accelerator here and go into a circle. If this is making you dizzy, you don't want to do that thing. But let's take a look at your formation and see how you're doing. Let's see. Oh, very nice. That's good. Very good. Oh, that's awesome. All right, and listen, if you're here today, you are already familiar with the controls. So if you the left thumbstick's going to move you around like this. The right thumbstick's going to turn you around in circles. And if you combine these two, you get these big, elaborate circles that make my presentations more dramatic. Everybody go into like a big circle like this, and let me see that, because this way it looks like you guys are ballroom dancing. Let me see. All right, that's not too bad. Kind of fancy. All right, and listen, I really love to show you what this looks like, and now you can. If you take a look at Ravenhall, that's our YouTube camera. So we're putting this episode out in a couple of weeks. If you want to wave on out to YouTube, feel VR famous, just stand on this rug here and turn around, and just start waving out. Be like, hey, YouTube. How's it going? How you doing? Like that. We got a lot of people in here. We got Peter Parker. We got Bravo Avocado. We got Bradley. We've got Relux 420. We've got Mick and C1. We've got a lot of people in here. So come on in, Altspace. I think you'll enjoy it. All right. Now, another thing, too, you can do is, how we were just going really fast like that, right? As soon as you go, what are you doing, Peter? You keep trying to get my attention. What's up? Tell you what. Thumbs down? Not doing so good? All right. Tell you what. I'm going to mute everybody because you're really trying hard to get my attention, and it's working. What's up, Peter Parker? Unmute yourself. Tell me what's up.
I heard you need help with monitoring and stuff, so I'm here.
Where'd you hear that? Oh, you disappeared. Oh, I really want to know where we heard that. All right. Okay. Well, he stopped the show for that. That's unusual. All right. So listen, if you hold down your accelerator button and you face the stage and you go backwards, you can teleport at the floor and kind of combine that into like what I think of as the Altspace moonwalk, which I'm hoping is not a copyright violation. All right, cool. So you can do it just like that. And listen, when I first started messing around with this stuff, right? Oh, there's another thing you can do too, is you put your hand over your head like this and you can teleport backwards, just like that, right? So just put your hand over your head like that, and the next thing you know, you can just teleport backwards. It's pretty neat. And when I first started messing around with this stuff, I was going to the Universe then, and back then it was held in a really large world. So what I did was I would go to, I went to the edge of the world, right? And I actually fell off the world. And as I fell off, all right, what's going on, Letter on TikTok? You guys got to realize something. That's like really, all right, what's going on? You're unmuted there, Letter on TikTok. What's going on?
But I know how to use
Okay.
AltspaceVR. It's just like I don't know what to do here.
That's terrific. Well, one thing to not do is maybe, try to like stop the event that you're in. That would be pretty cool. I'd appreciate that. All right. Thanks for that. There you go. All right. So here what you do. There we go. Let's try this again. All right. Okay. You got to realize too, you got to think when you're in VR, if you're new to VR, if you wouldn't do it in real life, you probably shouldn't do it here. Think about like, say you go to a theater for some kind of a show, right? And like somebody walks up to the stage and they're going, hey, I got a note for you. Hey. And they pass it to the actor. You wouldn't be surprised when security showed up and threw him out, right? It makes sense because you're up there, and I'll tell you, all you see when you're up there, like you're up here and you're talking, and all you see is that one guy, and it's always one, and he's always like this. He's like, hey, look at me over here. Hey, look at me. So that's the body language is a big deal in VR. And listen, speaking of which, when I was at the Universe, like I said, I was going to the edge of the world, and as I looked off the edge, I fell off. And as I'm falling, I reached over and I saw this cliff, and I could teleport to it. So I teleported to it before I could respawn. And at that moment, I knew I was getting a handle on the controls. So if you're new to the Quest, or you're new to the Quest 2, and all of this seems like a lot to take in, don't worry, in a few days to about a week, you're not even going to think about the controls anymore. Like if I tell everybody, let's see, I'm getting a text from Relux 420 saying that he's on an Oculus Go. That's cool. You check out our other event. It's Go Time. We have a lot of useful tips for that. And I'm being told I'm choppy again. All right. All right. This is great. I'm going to re-enter the space here, and that'll help with that. All right. I hope. Because this is really going really well here. All right. Let's see. I'm going to re-enter the space.
I've gone ahead and unmuted everyone for your convenience until he returns. It shouldn't be too long, just a minute. If you'll bear with us through our technical difficulties, thank you very much.
Hi.
How you do that?
There he is.
Okay.
That was quick.
So as I was saying, when you come into, all right, well, hang on. We got a lot of interruptions here, and I lost my slides. So Morgan, if you can grab the slides for me, that'd be very helpful. All right, so now we got the the hand popping up, Relux. All right, 1 second here, okay? You know what? Let's switch this. Here you go, Relux. Before I get going, what do you got? You got the hand up there. No? No? Okay.
Telling you were getting choppy.
Oh, okay. Well, am I still choppy, or is it fixed now?
No.
Oh, we're good? All right,
You
cool. That's
sound
awesome. All right,
great.
that's good. That's cool. Now, listen, if you are new, all right, these controls, you're not going to think about them after a while, all right? Like, for example, if I tell everybody to look out that window, I'm not thinking about how I'm doing it. I just do it. You're always going to feel the plastic of the controls in your hand, but there's going to kind of come a time where these actually become your hands, right? It's true. And you won't have to think about these gestures. And the way you do this, if you hold down your grip button, you're going to see that your hands go into a point, just like that, right? So try that now, right? And you can give me, like, maybe give me a Brooklyn hello. This is how we do it back home, like that. You're like, how you doing, everybody? Just like that. Yeah, all right. Yeah, you feel it. Now you put it together like this, and you can make kind of the Altspace logo, right? And hold it nice and high. Show me some Altspace pride, people. Like you're proud of it. There you go. Oh, yeah, that's good feeling that. Now you can twist it together to make kind of a picture frame like that. Maybe you squeeze your trigger to make like the shutter action. How cool would it be if you could take a screenshot like this? That'd be awesome. You got Jay over here going like this. See that? Right? That's kind of cool, right? Now, if you hold down your grip and your index finger, right, you can give me 2 thumbs up. Let me know when I'm doing a good job, right? Maybe I'm not. You'd be like, listen, all these interruptions, I don't know. 2 thumbs down. I mean, you tried. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you give me a little bit of both. Maybe you do this thing. I don't know what this means, but I see everybody doing it lately, so I don't know. You can touch your thumbs to the buttons or the thumbsticks or your thumb rest, and they'll go down just like this, right? You know, and you can combine that into kind of a cool dance move, just like that. And the way, listen, if you see somebody doing something you like in Altspace, like one of the first quest times we ever had, somebody came up to the stage and they started going like this, right? So I did it back. And then the whole audience started going like this. It was cool. And that's the way to pick this stuff up, by mirroring the gestures. If somebody does something you like, you want to make it your own, right? And that's how you get a handle on a lot of this stuff. Now, there's another important button. Let me see if I can get my laser pointer back here. This is pretty special one here. And don't press this now, because if you disappear, I'm going to feel it, right? But what you want to do is, let's say somebody comes in your space and says, dinner's ready, something important like that. And you're like, oh, got to go. The proper way to leave Altspace is by pressing this eject button on your right controller down toward the bottom here. Now, it's the concave button on the Quest 2, but on the original Quest, it's a flat button down toward the bottom. And when you press that, you're going to get an option to either quit or resume. Now, that's fantastic if you press it by accident. Like if you're dancing around the Universe, you're having a good time, and all of a sudden you press that button, right? And then you see your main menu. Just press resume. You're going to come right back into Altspace like you never left, right? And this way, usually won't destroy you with your awesome admin powers, right? But this is a great way to leave in the event that something goes wrong. Morgan, if you wouldn't mind advancing the slide for me, that would be great. Now, listen, like sometimes, like if you look to the left, right, and then you look back, and then, as you do so, the whole world moves with you, that can make you feel really dizzy, kind of sick. So it pays to know how to leave in a hurry. And that flat bottom or that concave button on your right controller will get you there, right? And usually that's all it's going to take is you quit the app like that and you restart the app, and that's going to fix most of the problems that you have in here. But occasionally something more serious might go wrong. Like you might turn your head and you might see, oh no, there's a black void on the edge of the screen. And then you look on the other side and there's another one. You look up and down, it's spreading and all your friends are frozen like this, right? And you press that eject button and nothing happens. And you're like, Michael Forrest lied to me, right? Well, that's not what's going on. What's going on with that is, listen, occasionally your apps are going to freeze, not just Altspace, but occasionally your headset will get frozen like that. And when that used to happen to me, I would take my headset off to restart my headset. The problem with this is if your headset is plugged in and it's not in a charge cycle and that light's not going on, what could happen is you can get to, thinking there's something wrong with your headset because it takes a while for it to restart, especially if you're in a rush, right? So what I like to do is I like to restart my headset while it's still on my head. This is a good practice to get into. So the way you do this is you take your index finger of your right hand and you swipe it up and down on the right side of your device, and you're going to feel that raised up power button there, right? Then you take the index finger of your left hand and you squeeze them together. This way you don't move your headset around a lot. I find it helps to look down like you're in a deep concentration pose. And after about 4 seconds, you concentrate so hard your avatar disappears and you get plunged into the darkness, right? But you don't let go. You just hang on, right? And after about 10 seconds, you start to wonder, why did Oculus make it take so long? After about 15 seconds, you start thinking about friends, wondering how they're doing. 20 seconds go by, you start thinking about life. You start asking the big questions, man. And after about 23 seconds, all of a sudden the Oculus logo emerges like the bat signal. And when it starts to pulse, you just take your fingers away like that, and your device will restart normally. And that's going to take care of most of the problems that you're going to have, not just in Altspace, but in other apps as well. But very occasionally, something really severe might happen. Like one time I came out of Altspace, and there was a message there on the screen that said, Oculus Home is now closing. And I'm like, well, that's weird. I've never seen that before. And there was a blue button to press OK. So I pressed OK. And when I did that, the screen just said loading. And I waited. And I'm like, that's weird. This has never happened. This is very strange, right? So then I tried my deep concentration pose, right? And the device restarted. And it still said loading when it came back on. I'm like, there's something wrong. So I went and I spoke to Google about it. Google knows all the things. And Google said that, well, a lot of people were having this problem. And the thing to do was a factory reset. Right now, only use this in an extreme emergency, because if you have any photos saved on your device, you're going to lose those. Right. Likewise, if maybe you're also going to lose all of your settings and your preferences too. Right. So it's for serious business. You might even lose your Beat Saber scores. It's true. I got a thumbs down here from Jay saying it's bad. It's really bad when that happens, right, Jay? So what can happen there is, yes. So that, only use the factory reset in an extreme emergency. Okay. And Morgan, if you wouldn't mind hitting the slide for me, I'd appreciate that. Now, listen, if you're here today, you're already familiar with the Guardian system, right? You danced with the robot, you did the tour thing with the blimp. That's a lot of fun, right? What you may not know is how to use the Guardian system to your advantage in Altspace. What I mean by this is, listen, let's say, when you mess around with your Guardian 2, be very careful, all right? Because, especially if you're new to VR, because you'll see somebody walking along in Altspace, you see this all the time. They're walking along, they're having a good day, and all of a sudden, bam, they hit a wall, because those real worlds are a menace and they need to be stopped. But in the meantime, it can help to just lead with your hands, right? You just lead with your hands. That'll help a lot, right? And when you get up to the edge of your Guardian system, you get that grid that appears, right? So if I walk up to my real world wall right now, my hand's not like that, I see the grid appear, and I can still touch my thumbsticks, right? And what that does is I can move my avatar around while I'm standing still in the real world. And then what I can do is I can move that grid up to my display here and kind of attach it. This way I've got a frame of reference. So I can back up and take it all in and be like, oh, that's very good. That feels like my real world wall. And then, I've fallen off the stage and I'm in the audience. Now, let's say you guys aren't a nice audience. Why don't you guys mess with me? Stick your hands in my face. Try to make me as dizzy as you can. Really just give me a hard time, as hard as you can there. I'm looking at that screen, though. And as long as I can see that display, you're doing a pretty good job, but that screen is huge. And as long as I can see that and you're not getting in the way, it's not going to mess me up too bad, really. I'm not breaking my sentences. You can see it's not bothering me at all. And that's because I've got a frame of reference. Right now, also, you can use something small, too. You can use the edge of the stage and line this up with a real world table or a real world desk, something like that. And that'll help you out a lot, especially if you're getting dizzy in VR. That can really help. Another thing that can help, not even using your Guardian system, is you can just take your hand. And even though that's not your real hand, if you put this in front of your face and you just focus on that hand, right, you'll find that the dizziness starts to pass. And when it does, you slowly take your hand away, right, and you're going to find, right, that the dizziness can pass, and that can help you last a little bit longer. But if you are getting dizzy or you're new to VR, don't push it. Right? Just come out of VR. After a while, you're going to get your VR legs, and it'll make things better, okay? You also need to keep in mind that you can transition between a room scale experience and a stationary experience while you're in VR on a Quest and a Quest 2. And the way you do this is so let's say, I'm up here, right? And I'm like, I've hosted over 400 events in Altspace, and I'm getting tired. I need to sit down. So what I do is I walk up to the edge of my Guardian system, right? And I lead with my hands, and I make sure I got enough room to pass my head through. And I got some room there. So I put my head through, and the pass-through camera goes off, right? They also have on the experimental features where you can double tap the device. You just go tap, tap, and then you can see the real world, right? And I got my coffee mug here. I can take a sip of that. I can just throw it down because I'm a rebel like that, right? And I can see I got my chair right over here there. And I can just go over and sit in my chair. And as soon as I sit down in my chair, right, I could press it. I'm having a stationary experience. And then the grid will pop up, and I'll find not only am I still in VR, but I'm still in Altspace. I never left. This also works in the other direction, too. You find that, one time I was helping to moderate an event, right? And when I was moderating this event, I felt like getting up and walking around, So I get up and I go to step in my Guardian, and my Quest lost my Guardian. That can happen sometimes. And, they want you to redraw a new boundary. Not a big deal, right? But when there's 2 minutes left in the event, it's a very big deal. So I start drawing this boundary out, and I'm like, why is my space so big? And then I start thinking of all the times to moderate for an admin. Why did it have to be today? I don't know. All right. I guess Jay's familiar with that because he kind of chased me around the room there. All right. So, there we go. So what I found was as soon as I closed that loop, the grid came up, and I found that not only was I still in VR, but I was still in Altspace. So you're able to, say you're at an event and you're enjoying yourself, and you're like, this is fun, but I really wish I could sit down. You totally can. Right? If you're really into it and you're like, man, that Michael Forrest, he really got my blood going. He's so enthusiastic. Right? I want to get up and I want to run around the room. You absolutely can. Just don't run into a wall, please. Because like I told you, those walls, they're a problem. All right. Now, let's see. Another thing you can do on both the Quest and the Quest 2 that's just fun, right? It's not useful. It's just fun. It's cool. What you can do is you can go up to the edge of your Guardian system there, right? You go to your Guardian, and when there's a spot in it where if you got enough room to move your head through there, right? If you move through super slow, there's going to be a spot where you can see both realities at the same time. And it's cool because this will give you a sense of scale with the size of the avatars. Like, did you know that avatars are about 6 feet tall? And they're a lot wider than you would think, too, right? And this really, you don't really notice this until you find, you have them in a familiar environment, like your living room or your office or wherever it is you VR from. So it's pretty fun to do that. All right, Morgan, if you wouldn't mind hitting that slide for me, that'd be cool. All right, one of the great things about the Quest is it just works, right? But there's a lot of accessories that can make the Quest a much more enjoyable experience. But with the Quest 2, some of these accessories are more like necessities. Like that original strap that comes with the Quest 2 is very uncomfortable after about a half hour of use. Some people like it. A lot of people think, what you got that thumbs down, Jay, again? You're not feeling it? Okay, a thumbs up? All right, thanks for that. All right, so what you can do is, if you have a lot of different, they have a lot of different accessories for the Quest 2, and we will be having those listed out on our event page. We want to find out which ones are the best, and I don't like to recommend something until I've tried it. In the meantime, until we get those going, I'd really like to hear what some of you have done with the Quest accessories, as Quest 2s. Have you tried anything like the Elite Strap? Because recently I heard, Elite Strap is the way to go. It's super comfortable. But you know what I heard? I heard a lot of users are having it break on them. Like it's actually snapping off on the side there. Can you imagine that? You're in VR and all of a sudden it cracks. Has that ever happened to anybody? Because I want to hear about that. All right, so I'm seeing a hand there. No? Okay. Listen, what I'm going to do now is you're going to see a raise hand button appear on your right, as if by magic. It's true. That's what magic looks like in VR. So go ahead and press that raise hand button if you got a question or you have a comment, but I'd particularly like to hear about any accessories that you might have tried on the Quest 2. Anybody? All right, you're going to press that raise hand button. Here we go. We got somebody. Let's see who we have here. We've got Gabe. Gabe, you're on the air, and I feel like a radio host. Where are you, Gabe?
I'm over here.
Hey, Gabe, how you doing?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good. Pretty good. Just hosting the event. What do you got? Have you tried any accessories for the Quest 2?
I've got the Elite strap on right now, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm on the Quest 2. I love it. I friggin' love it.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed, they've really improved the microphone quality on the Quest 2. You hear how clear Gabe's voice is, right? It's so nice and clear, right? It's very rich. There's really great sound on it. And how do you feel about the Elite strap? Does it feel solid? Because I've been hearing it's breaking on people.
I've had it for a couple of days. I haven't had a problem, honestly.
Oh, that's awesome. One thing, I got a theory about why this is happening. You know how you have that disc in the back that you can turn to adjust the tension on it? Maybe people are overdoing it on that, and that's what's causing it. Like they're over-tightening it, especially if they're new to VR. They may not, have that sense of how, they might be making it too tight. I think that's why that might be happening, So
That's
I'm not
bad,
sure, but we're keeping an eye on that because I don't want to recommend something that's just going to break. So we're assembling a page of different products. And listen, if you want to try any of the accessories for the original Quest, right, we have them up at altvr.com. If you click on channels, you'll see that there's a list of all these events channels in Altspace. And down toward the bottom, I'm told that doesn't mean anything, but you'll see this is Ravenhall events. And if you click on that, you get taken to our event page. And when you click on our, on our event page, down toward the bottom left, you can join our Discord if you have any further questions or anything like that. You want to say hello or help us organize events like this. That's where we do all that stuff. But on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see all these accessories, and very soon you're going to be seeing accessories that we were going to recommend for the Quest 3, Quest 2. Oh, wow, the Quest 3. Yeah, that's super advanced. No, the Quest 2. A lot of accessories there for that. All right, and also in the upper right, you're going to see the most important button on the internet. It's the subscribe button. And when you press it, it lets Altspace know that you enjoy our content. We don't get paid to do this, so every time we see that number goes up, it makes us feel really good. We enjoy that. Even better when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you are watching it on YouTube, you'll find links in the description below there. But let's see, who else do we have? We also have Andreas, or Andreas, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Let's see, where are you? Let's see.
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Hey, how do I say your name? Just so I know. I'm lousy at this.
Andreas is right.
Andreas, okay,
Andreas.
cool. Oh, cool.
How do I activate the pass-through on the Quest 2? I know from the Rift S I could double-click on the Oculus button, and
Yes.
there was
Yes, that doesn't
pass-through
work
was
on the Quest
activated.
2 or the original Quest. On the Rift, you can just double tap that the bottom button on your controller there. On the Quest 2, there's two ways you could do it. One is you can go up to the edge of the Guardian, make sure you got enough room to move your head through it. And as soon as you move your head through it, the pass-through camera will go off. But there's another way. If you go into on your main Quest menu, as soon as you start the device up, you'll see the home screen there. And on the lower right, you're going to see an area that says Settings. When you click on Settings, look for an area called Experimental Features, and there they're going to have the double tap pass-through. And the way this works is you just go tap, tap with your finger on either the right or the left of the device. You don't even have to use your finger. You can use the edge of the controller. If I do it now, you'll hear it like that.
Okay, I will try.
Okay, whoa, it actually worked. My camera just went off. All of a sudden, I'm looking at the room around me, and I'm like, uh-oh, tap, tap, and I'm back in here, right? So it works just like that. You guys probably heard me do with the tap, tap. That was with the side of my controller. That's the way I do it. I use that ring, and I just go tap, tap, and it works great. It's fantastic. Just that quickly, that's all it took me to look through, and oh, wow, I'm back in my room again. How did that happen? Uh-oh, I was in the middle of the event. What do? Tap, tap, and now I'm back. It's as quick as that. It's really great. All right, let's see here. Now, we also have, let's see, that was from before. All right, now, if there are no further questions or if I didn't call on you, what we're going to do now is, you see this button that's up here with me? I'm going to press this button here. Actually, Morgan, if you could press it for me, that would be great. I'm going to press this, and you're going to see a Ravenhall Talon hovercraft go down the street here. And this is what we do at the end of our
Talon
event.
aircraft en route to your position.
There it goes. Now, you can actually fly this if you want to by coming out to join me at the Ravenhall Flight Academy. If you've never flown in Altspace before, if you have any further questions, let's take them there. All right. So head on over here. You'll go through this door where Bradley's standing. This nice jacket. I like that vest. Pretty cool, Bradley. All right. We'll come on through here. Right. And listen, if you've learned anything here today, please share it with those you come in contact with. Because that's how we keep this thing going.
Talon aircraft is now boarding outside for transport to the Ravenhall Flight Academy. Please exit the building and step into the blue light. Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everybody. It's been a great audience. I'll see you next time.